Pokémon, a franchise that took the world by storm and defined the childhoods of many. It has only gotten more popular with time, but what was Pokémon like way back then? More specifically, how has competitive Pokémon changed over the years for those striving to be the very best? Now that is exactly what we are here to find out. In this series, Jeexx and I will embark on an adventure to be the very best, exploring through time and space to rediscover Pokémon's past formats. In each episode, both of us will bring two teams and battle it out in a best of 3 match, and the one who wins with both teams first is crowned the champion of the episode. We hope you enjoy this trip to Pokemon's evolution with us. Welcome to the Pokemon Progression Series, A Journey Through Time. Generation 1, Red, Blue and Yellow, the spark that started the bonfire that would burn for decades with the first 151 Pokemon, was an absolutely unbalanced mess. Based in the Kanto region, which itself is based in the region of the same name in Japan, it saw the most powerful Pokemon that ever exist in Mewtwo, had some very interesting mechanics, and it was widely dominated by Psychic and Normal types. Notable features and differences when compared to modern Pokemon in Generation 1 were the following, and strapping this list is a doozy. Generation 1 had no held items or abilities, those would come later, and instead of the modern EVs and IVs, a DV mechanic with 15 max in each stat and no limitation or real reason to not have these all max was in place. Special is one single stat responsible for both offense and defense on the special side for the Pokemon, and no physical special split yet, and instead move type was defined by whether a move is physical or special, and the types can be seen on the screen right now. As already mentioned, Psychic and Normal were the king when it came to types of Pokemon, mostly due to a lack of good fighting type moves, as well as Psychic only being resisted by itself, having an immunity to Ghost instead of a weakness, and the complete absence of Dark in Generation 1. Other type related things include Bug and Poison hitting each other for super effective damage, Fire not resisting Ice, Ghost not resisting Bug, as well as the absence of the aforementioned Dark, as well as Steel, and obviously Fairy that would come way later. Generation 1 also had really wonky trap and status mechanics, where trapping and sleep both require a full turn to snap out of, and you can't use move on the turn that you snap out of it, and freeze you cannot be thawed out of unless hit with a fire type move that can inflict burn, and also there were some very clear bugs as well, like Body Slam not being able to paralyze normal types. Hyper Beam also had no recharge if it KO'd a Pokemon or hit a substitute, which made it an incredibly powerful move, and crit chance was based on the Pokemon speed stat instead of being the same random chance for everybody. And guys and gals, welcome back to the Pokemon Progression Series. We're back with episode 3, and this time tackling the never used format, or NU for short, for Generation 1. So without further ado, let's take a look at the teams that we have brought today. And the first one call the Greedsword Sweep. It's basically a sweeper Charizard, and it's Greedsword because now the name has Greed, so the other 6 slots can be combined for the 7 deadly sins. Yeah, this having to have nicknames for your Mons is going to be the end of me. But for our team, I had to throw the trio in there at some point, and both Charizard and Blastoise being in NU meant that it just made the most sense to also slot in Venusaur here. I also genuinely think Venusaur complements the team really well, but still, I feel like it's just really cool getting to play all the 3 starters in the same team. But first, our dedicated lead is going to be Fearow. Agility, Drill Peck, Hyper Beam, Double Edge, just a bunch of power here. Is if we have a good matchup, we might set up an Agility or 2, like something like Drill Peck, Hyper Beam, Double Edge, everything here coming from Stab Fearow with a pretty decent attack still, and insanely high speed, obviously. After the Agility, nothing is outspeeding us, and we have a really high crit rate, so pretty threatening lead if we get a good lead. Then we have Charizard with SD, Earthquake, Fire Blast, Hyper Beam, just like 2 hard-hitting, good coverage physical moves, and then Fire Blast for stab and to hit anything that we can't with stuff like Earthquake and Hyper Beam. SD is there to set up and then just go to town. Then we have Blastoise with Surf, Blizzard, Earthquake, Seismic Toss, just 4 different attacking moves. Blastoise is just a really well-rounded kit overall, like having access to a really good move pool and also having access to a pretty balanced stat spread as well. Then we have Venusaur, Sleep Powder, Swords Dance, Razor Leaf, Hyper Beam. Venusaur is kind of a victim of bad move pool, but still like having access to sleep powder is alone like is still pretty good. Source Dance, Razor Leaf is there for coverage, and then like Hyper Beam, Source Dance like this is here. So if we don't have good swaps, it's still like threatening for us to set up a Source Dance or two when our opponent is taking Sleep Surge. Then we have an electric type in Magneton, Thunderbolt, Thunderwave, Rest, Substitute, really bad move pool, but basically always we're just going to be clicking Thunderbolt coming from 120 special, with the format also having tons of weak Pokemon. That is Aerodactyl, Blastoise, Charizard, Fearow, Kabutops, Moltres, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, and Seadra. That's like 80% of the tier getting hit for super effective by Thunderbolt. Like, if Jeexx doesn't bring a ground type, which obviously is not in the set here, the format itself in the tier, then he will have no swap-ins to Magneton. I was genuinely thinking of leading with Magneton too, but because there are no good switch-ins, the chance of him like stacking it and dealing damage and then revenge killing us are actually pretty high. So we'd rather like pivot into Magneton in a favorable matchup, maybe set up a substitute, and probably take a couple of chaos there. And then finally we also have, you gotta have a Psychic type in a team. We then finally have Mr. Mime with Psychic, Thunderbolt, Seismic Toss, and Thunderwave. Double Thunderwave here, as well as a Sleep, obviously from Venusaur, meaning because Charizard is fast. One of the fastest monsters that tier, but still like stuff like Aerodactyl obviously giving trouble a bit. Aerodactyl overall like pretty good against our team, but still like we do have stuff like Magneton for it. And then we do have Mr. Mime to be able to paralyze it. Once Aerodactyl gets paralyzed, we're well more equipped to deal with it. But before that, like it's actually going to be a big problem for this team. But overall, I feel like this team is actually really well balanced. And mostly, I'm just very excited to be playing the 3 Cantonian starters in the same team. As for the team 2, this is a double sweeper, double threat, double water sweeper team with Seadra and Poliwrath. Sorry, I'm losing names here. And then we have our dedicated lead in Moltres with Substitute and Fire Spin to be just a nuisance, then Fire Blast, and Hyper Beam if we just need to nuke something proper. Then we have our 2 sweeping water types. First we have Seadra. Relatively good stat spread and being able to set up an agility. After agility, the only thing that... Actually, are we fast? I think we're still fast. It's 40... No, we're still going to... Yeah, we're going to be slightly slower than Aerodactyl even after an agility. But obviously, like, the chance of Jeexx staying in on Seadra with Aerodactyl, pretty low. Aerodactyl overall, I feel like, was something that I was thinking of also playing myself, because I feel like it just has a ton of good matchups. But the issue with Aerodactyl for me in this was mostly that it's the movesets it gets are kind of whatever. Like, if you look at this, like, not having access to a rock type move for yourself, like, you can't get Rock Slide, you can't get any rock type moves on Aerodactyl, and that is ultimately what I decided against, because it has really a good typing and really amazing stat spread for the tier, but ultimately not having that many moves to actually use is why I decided against using it. So it's not the worst thing in the world. But Seadra, agility, Surf, Blizzard, Substitute. We have agility and Substitute, and then just 2 really strong moves, one coming from Stab as well, to be able to hit anything. For our the bulkier sweeper, we have Amnesia, Poliwrath, with also Hypnosis, and then Surf and Psychic to just hit basically anything in the tier. Then we have a Venomoth with Psychic and Double Edge as its attacking moves, but more often than not, Venomoth is here mostly to just spread status. Then we have, I was earlier talking about like basically nothing in here, switching into Magneton into tier. So we're borrowing Graveler from PU, because Moltres and both of our sweepers obviously get absolutely blasted by Magneton. So we really want the immunity, so that's why we're playing Graveler here. Earthquake, Rock Slide, Explosion, Body Slam. I think this is the exact same set that I ran on my Golem that I used before. So Graveler, I feel like, is just going to be really good for the tier. The issue for Graveler is obviously, as you can see, there are so many water types here, and we don't have a grass type in this team, which is the one thing that I'm a little worried about. But I was like genuinely, I was contemplating playing Vileplume in the Moltres slot, but I kind of wanted to use Moltres, and we'll see. Like I said, like the big issue is just here that we don't have a really good switch into the waters because we have our own waters, but like the matchups are then going to be flips. And that's mostly what Raticate is here for. So obviously, as we've noticed at this point, like the Gen 1 metagame, like it feels very bulky, and Super Fang just being half the opponent's life is really good. So anything that we can't really hit properly, like if we can weaken it with like something like Super Fang, and also like Raticate is the fastest thing apart from the like 100 speeders and like Aerodactyl in the tier. So something like a Super Fang in the Thunderbolt can actually solve a lot of our problems. Problem is there literally because we obviously can't hit something like Graveler, but Graveler also isn't the greatest in hitting us back. So if Jeexx also runs something like Graveler and we just go Super Fang into Bubble Beam, that Graveler is gone. I was also thinking, actually, should I run Blizzard instead since I have already double water coverage? This might be a first where I'm switching on the fly, but honestly, I don't think I need the favorable matchup into Arcanine because Charizard I can hit with Thunderbolt anyway, and so if he's using something like Graveler, which I do expect him to use in one of his teams, because like that's Magneton walks over teams without Graveler, I feel like. So you know what? We will switch this Bubble Beam into, I guess I'll take the consistency, but it's coming from a low special though. We'll still go Blizzard. So yeah, final change there actually that we will go Blizzard for the last move slot just to have like good coverage. But more often than not, like we want to be clicking Super Fang, like guaranteed 50% on anything. Well, guaranteed 90% accuracy in such a bulky metagame is honestly really good. But I feel like my second team is definitely a lot more volatile. I feel like the first one is a lot more balanced, and obviously I've sung the praise of Magneton so much already. I feel like Magneton can honestly, if we manage to spread some status, like this is called the Greed Star sweep, but it might as well be a Magneton sweep against the right team. So it'll all just depend on what Jeexx ends up bringing. But 10-minute breakdown, sorry for that. That was very long, but I feel like I had a lot to say this time. Well, you enjoyed it. Regardless, enjoy Jeexx's team breakdown as well. And after that, we will see you in the battling zone. So see you there.
Okay, so we're doing Gen 1 and U. And I'm gonna be honest, considering that last week I was cooking some shit, this thing is still missing the move that I gave it earlier. What the hell? But yeah, last week I was thinking I was cooking some shit up, but I apparently did not make anything worthwhile. I just got fucking crushed. I got completely swept. Unfortunate. Let's forget what happened last week and let's focus on this week though. We're running Mr. Mime, Kabutops, Nidoking, Aerodactyl, Arcanine, and Kingler in this, with the main idea being to lead with a fairly fast, offensively strong Pokemon that has the ability to hinder the first Pokemon out and maybe even challenge whatever comes out after, like immediately after my opponent's first Pokemon. Because like I'm gonna assume Weebfox is gonna lead with something that is gonna be fairly fragile. Be Venomoth, for example. Venomoth will just, I'm pretty sure, explode to Psychic. I'm not really sure because I haven't checked how well Venomoth takes damage from Psychic on Mr. Mime. So let me just kind of interested about that now. It does not actually explode. Kind of surprising. But yeah, I think Venomoth coming out is fairly likely. It's a good lead. It has good speed. It has fairly good special attack. It's got a good set of moves for a lead. It's got Stun Spore. It's got Sleep Powder. And it can be fairly frustrating to deal with. So I think I'm going to run Mr. Mime as a way of trying to check that. Mostly also because of the fact that I have Thunderbolt and Thunder Wave in here, since there's a lot of Pokemon that are weak to like electric moves, and there's only one decent electric type, but there's not a lot of good ground types. So even if I do click Thunderbolt to check something, it's still going to deal a decent amount of damage. We have Kabutops here, which has Sword Stance, Slash, Surf, and Hyper Beam. The main idea here obviously being to use Slash to threaten my opponent and also use Sword Stance instead of using Hyper Beam because it has a fairly high attack stat. It's a fairly fast Pokemon as well, so I'm hoping that the fact that there's not many good ways of checking like water rock types, because of the fact that there's not many good grass coverage Pokemon in this, I'm hoping that this can take and sweep. I was considering giving Mr. Mime Reflect instead of Seismic Toss, or even Light Screen instead of Seismic Toss, because there's a lot of Pokemon that are very specially offensive instead of physically offensive, because there's not that many good physical sweepers in this. Like obviously Kabutops is one of the better ones, and I would even argue that maybe Arcanine and King Lear as well. King Lear's got a really good attack, but in comparison to previous tiers, there's obviously nowhere near as many good normal types. There's nowhere near as many good like Pokemon with high attacks and high speed. Like again, Kabutops being one of the better ones. Then we have Nidoking with Earthquake, Fire Blast, Thunderbolt, and Blizzard, mostly just as a means of checking like electric types. Like again, there's not many good electric types here, and in a way, Nidoking is not the best option here because if I run like Oingo Boingo in here, like Mr. Mime here, I play Mr. Mime. Weebfox goes at least with Venomoth, sleeps my Mr. Mime, and then swaps into anything that can just I then swap into Kabutops, and then he swaps into some electric moves. I try to check that, I can't check it, and then I swap into Nidoking. Odds are what he swapped into can also check my Nidokings because of the poison weakness. I know the poison weakness, the psychic weakness, right? But yeah, the new Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl has Sky Attack, Double Edge, Fire Blast, and Hyper Beam. This is just supposed to be a fast sweep. It's just gonna hopefully sweep. I doubt that's gonna happen, but you know, most of these are just sweepers, right? There's not that many. Like the support Pokemon that I technically have in here are like just the Mr. Mime, and then even then it's like not very supportive. It's just it's got Thunder Wave and it's going ham otherwise. But yeah, then we have Arcanine, Fire Blast, Hyper Beam, Agility, Body Slam. The idea being to press Agility and hope that I don't get one shot, and then just hope for crits on like Fire Blast, Body Slam, or Hyper Beam. And then with Kingler, it's Sword Stance, and then using Body Slam to check stuff. I was actually thinking of something else as well. I was thinking of using Double Edge at one point, but I decided to use Body Slam instead because of the Paralyzed chance. And there's not many good, as we talked about, there's not many good normal types in here. Which means that Body Slam's Paralysis is not going to be something that, like, doesn't work as, normal types cannot be paralyzed with Body Slam for some reason. And then we have the second team, which consists of Venomoth, Magneton, Raticate, Fearow, Blastoise, and Graveler. Venomoth being the lead here, using Mega Drain, Psychic, Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, hopefully hitting with, obviously, either of these. I'm praying these fucking work. Depending on what Weebfox leads with, I might also just swap directly into one of the 5 other ones. We have Magneton for coverage against, like, flying types, water types, and just kind of hoping that this thing doesn't get completely one shot by stuff like Earthquake on Graveler or even Explosion on Graveler. I think Explosion on Graveler doesn't kill Magneton. Might be mistaken though. But yeah, then we have Giant Rat here, which is Raticate with Super Fang, Thunderbolt, Blizzard, Body Slam, Super Fang. Yeah. Main idea here being like I can probably use this to swing for the fences. Just like in the previous set, there's mostly just offensive sets here, just to see if offensive sets are the key here that I'm missing. Because the first time I was playing, I was running mostly just defensive sets. The second time I was playing, I was running like I was running very weird sets on my Pokemon overall, even though some of them did have like sweeper setups, but still. I'm curious to see how this will fare. Fearow with Drill Peck, Double Edge, Agility, Hyper Beam. Again, because of the fact that Agility gives us speed and speed affects our crit. I'm going to be using Agility to hopefully set up actual murder scenarios with Drill Peck, Double Edge, and Hyper Beam. There's not many Pokemon that are weak to Drill Peck in this, so mostly because of the fact that like there's not many grass types. There's not many fighting types. There's one fighting type. There's no grass types, and there's one bug type, which is Venomoth. So Venomoth is the only thing that I can really check with this, and also Venomoth doesn't have anything to really deal with Fearow with. So odds are that I will be using Fearow to try to check that Venomoth. It's also faster than the Venomoth, so it can go really hard against them. And Venomoth is also defensively weak, like physically defensively weak, which means that it's gonna crumble in the face of Electropunk. Then we have Cannibal Turtle here, which is Blastoise with Earthquake, Blizzard, Surf, and Body Slam. Earthquake to check the only electric type in this, and also poison types that happen to come in, and even like rock types that happen to come in. Blizzard to check ground rock, for example, which just happens to be only this one thing, and also flying types. And surf obvious, like it's a water type move. It's here to check the fire types. There's a number of fire types in this format. And body slam again for the paralysis and also just for a little slowing. I'm thinking that I could probably have ran rest instead of one of these moves, but you know, you live and learn. Dissolve rock here is Graveler, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Fire Blast, and Explosion. So what I am hoping to happen is I get value out of the EQ, which is like the strongest EQ in this, from what I remember, because it's the fact like it's just stab ground. I think Nidoking might be comparable, but like 95 attack, 115 defense, rock ground. It absorbs electric moves. It can be really good to call out stuff like Mr. Mime or even because Mr. Mime has to switch out if I remember correctly. Mr. Mime just dies to explosion. I guess this thing. But yeah, Mr. Mime gets checked because Mr. Mime can't be clicking on Thunderbolt at that point because there's a lot of, again, flying types and a lot of water types. You can use this to check that. You can force them to swap, and then you can make a call out on what they're going to swap into. They might be swapping into Charizard. They might be swapping to Moltres. They might be swapping into even Venomoth or Fearow. I'm going to go on a limb and say that they probably won't be swapping into anything that is weak to 4x weak to Rock because of the fact that you're just going to call them out using Rock Slide. So I'm just going to say they're going to go for Venomoth, and you click on fucking Explosion, you kill their best Pokemon, essentially. But yeah, that about does it. I think this is a fairly interesting format, and I'm kind of excited to see how this actually crumbles. Very, very nervous, though. Anyhow, good luck with the games.
Okay, I'm immediately just starting recording on my end, and I'm going to keep this brief this time. Y'all know what we're doing at this point. It's a few episodes in already, plus I've had 3 days of consecutive streams, so I'm not gonna lie, my voice is a little chocked, or not my voice, but my throat. I can definitely feel it, so I'm gonna keep this brief. We know what we're here to do, and you know what we're doing here, so. The only thing that I want to know, which is what I always want to know, do you feel more or less confident about this week than last week?
I'm gonna get destroyed this week.
Oh, you reckon?
We'll see.
Huh, interesting. I feel like my confidence every week is just going down. I do think that one of my two teams today is very cool, though. I think not a high bar, but thus far my favorite team to build.
I mean, I think I've cooked with the names.
Okay, that's honestly that's the most important part here. You get 1 point for winning the matches, and you get 3 points for having the better names in the episode. So ultimately, nothing else really matters.
And this is why I said it was mandatory. It's necessary.
It is very much true. Oh yeah, I need to once again. We will need to change our avatar for this one because this is what I started doing. So I'm gonna continue it. We'll do this, and I will send you a challenge, my gamer, and I wish you nothing but best of luck. And I'll see you after the games.
Sounds good.
Good luck. And I'm gonna deafen. All right. And we are back. We will not be doing a random battle, and instead it is Gen 1 NU, and we will start with Greed Sword Sweep. Sure. But I don't feel super confident, I'll be real. That was so loud. I'm so sorry about that. Alright, and let's immediately start the timer so we're not cheating. This thing does get Thunderbolt, so we do have a really bad start here. I actually don't have the greatest switches into this, and I don't know how much I want to match it, but honestly we're eating a Thunderbolt here, and then we're Thunder Waving it, and then what's happening afterwards? I don't know. I don't have better swap-ins. I don't think he's immediately going for a prediction turn 1. And if he is, okay, that's fine. And we will return a Thunder Wave. Also, I don't think I've had the effects on. Anyways, so we'll just mute everything. We will return the favor. The only thing that doesn't appreciate this, or the only thing that appreciates taking a Thunder Wave is Graveler. And if we get the knowledge of that, then that's good for us. Alright, Seismic Toss, and we return the favor with a Thunder Wave. And it's 35%, which I'm pretty sure is always going to be more than this. We can eat one more, and I will go for the speed ties though. I'm in a pretty bad position, but if we're trading just Mr. Mimes, then I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Because also, like, the ultimate end game for this team is to get an SD up with Charizard and then sweep that way. And getting one of the couple things. Okay, we win the speed tie there, which is really good. And now, if we lose the speed tie, it's pretty bad. But if we win the speed tie, we're in really good shape. But the question is, would he go for another Seismic Toss kill here and gets guaranteed damage on everything? I think it's more worth it for us to just go for the speed tie. I don't think I have anything I can revenge kill this with, which is the big issue. But like I said, I don't have good switch-ins to this, so we just have to pray that we win another speed tie here. Interesting. So he definitely expected a there. I think this thing gets SD. We could go for a Thunder Wave, or we could go for a Thunderbolt. I think this thing isn't that fast that we can revenge kill it, but we'll go for a Thunderbolt. I think he's just killing me, but just in case he gets greedy and tries to set up an SD on us, then we'll go for that. But I don't think he expected me to be willing to sack this here now. All right, there's the Slash. And now we do have, this thing is obviously faster, but we can't really hit him. We can go for a speed tie here. And Charizard just kills it with Earthquake, but he might have another thing. I'm pretty sure we kill with Earthquake on this as well. And I don't think he is going to have anything to hit us with. This is definitely the safe play though, to go on Venusaur and just hit Sleep Powder on something. We'll go Venusaur and just click Sleep Powder. If he actually, do we go Swords Dance rather? If we both Swords Dance here, do I die to, I don't die to a Slash. If he has a Grass type and he switches into that for a Sleep Powder, then that's annoying, but I think we still would rather Sleep Powder. If we get, once again, like if we get more knowledge on his team, then that's good for us. So I still think this is worth it. All right. It does switch into an Arcanine. We do get it to fall asleep. And now the question is this where we go into Charizard? And he's probably taking the sleep turn. We could go for a free switch into Blastoise, but is this where we reveal this Charizard and just click no. What else would he switch? I'm gonna think that he stays in and takes the sleep turn. Yeah, okay. We could have also gone into Charizard. We'll just go here for the obvious Surf, I think. No need to overpredict yet. We do get a crit. That is really unfortunate for Jeexx. I could Calc if Earthquake kills, but I don't think I will. What is he going for with this Kingler though? This is safe to hit kill though. We'll go Earthquake. Okay, that did nothing. Paralyze? Okay. Go for a Seismic Toss just in case he swaps, but yeah, Earthquake did absolutely nothing. Alright, he does have Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl has a good amount of stuff to hit us with. We'll go for a Surf here. He's losing a lot of tempo if he switches again, and I don't think there's anything he can kill us with. I wonder what his last mon would be. I'm guessing not a grass type. Would it be another water type? It might be a like endgame sweeper. But my Blastoise set is just for attack, so we can hit basically everything in the tier. So we're just gonna be clicking our buttons. Also, if we can wear him down in a way where Aerodactyl can clean, that's really good as well. Surf, okay. And then this thing is slower than us as well. He's definitely sacking it. We'll just go for a safe seismic toss, just in case he, for whatever reason, wants to keep it. But yeah, the crit on the Kingler did a lot. Okay, Nidoking is the last one. But what is this thing doing? I'm not swapping out. I'm just staying in and clicking stuff, yeah. Because that doesn't do a lot. Okay, if he gets the high roll, he might kill us, is the thing here. I still would rather click surf. If he high rolls and kills, we can revenge kill this thing still. He did get the high roll, that's fine. We got lucky earlier. Now the question is, what do I want to go for here? Kabutops is not low enough for us to cleanly take out. So I do think we just go for Pharaoh here. And I don't want to risk taking a Thunderbolt. So although it's really obvious that he's going for one of these two, I will still go for a Drill Peck. But he's actually... It's such an over prediction at this point. Because like, I know he's going for one of these two. But what if he just clicks Thunderbolt? Like, what do I do then? And like, I want to go into Magneton, but do I want to overpredict here? I don't. I think he just stays in and sacks this thing. Yeah, okay. Thank God I didn't overpredict. Yeah, this is easy every time. Now the thing here is he will probably set up a Swords Dance. And there's nothing really that we can do against that. I would want to keep Magneton healthy. And I think Magneton and Venusaur both do a lot in this. But he's definitely setting up a Swords Dance here, right? He doesn't have resistances to switch into Thunderbolt. I'd rather go Venusaur here. Yeah, this makes sense. He does get the crit. No SD though. Happy to see that. And now I'm not gonna risk anything. He's most likely just switching into Arcanine to eat up sleep turns. But do I set up a Swords Dance here? Because he probably goes into Arcanine. Am I over predicting if I predict the switch into Arcanine? That's what I'm thinking here now. Because if we call the Arcanine switch in here with Charizard, we immediately basically win. But if we get that wrong, then we lose. He's definitely switching. I think if we go this, what's the punishing switch? And something that doesn't let us set up sub. Everything in my mind is telling me that he is going Arcanine here. But I do think this is safer. No, we go Magneton. This thing gets Earthquake though, right? I'm pretty sure this thing gets Earthquake. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, there's no way he's staying in, right? There's absolutely no way he's staying in on us. Yeah. This is very greedy. This is the play that either wins or loses the game, and okay, that's perfect. I should have, obviously, if I go Charizard there, I immediately win the game on the spot, but this still lets us set up a free sub. And now we just click Thunderbolt. He doesn't have anything to switch into this. That is unfortunate. If he doesn't, okay, I was gonna say if he doesn't wake up here, it doesn't matter, but yeah. Another crit that definitely mattered. But now, what is he switching into this? This thing is paralyzed. So it can get rid of our sub if it gets through para, but dies. Everything else dies to a Thunderbolt. So now I need to expect him to have Magneton in his second team. Yeah, I think this is GG. I think this is literally the best switching that he could have done, because now he does get rid of our substitute here. Now the question here is, how much do I value this, and do I go into another Mon instead? The issue here is that Charizard actually doesn't do much in this endgame, and the whole idea of this team was to sweep with Charizard. But the Charizard doesn't do anything against this team. I think, honestly, his best play is go into probably Aerodactyl and just Hyper Beam. Does it kill? Oh, he goes into this thing. He's a clicking Psychic, right? There is a world where I just click Substitute until he gets paralyzed. Do I do that? It is 30%. It's Thunder Wave, Seismic Toss, Thunderbolt, and Psychic. He's never clicking Thunderbolt on us. If we get the first turn para, then this is huge. We'll go for a sub. Okay. We'll go for another sub. We're just fishing for paralysis here. I think from 75, I might have thrown, because from 75%, like, he does do a lot. We can Earthquake, Kabutops still. Paralyze? Okay, there. He tried. Oh! I wonder what he predicted there. He does get the para off, though, which is annoying, because I think now he's faster, right? Yeah, he's faster than us now. So he does get rid of this for free. I think we rest. And yeah, we rest here. Okay, perfect. That's funny. Okay, yeah, he does get rid of this. We do get paralyzed. Okay. He does get paralyzed, and we got the brother. That is unfortunate. Okay. I do want to get rid of my sleep turns first. Yeah, this makes sense. Now, does he set up a Source Dance here? Is the question. Probably does. We can still revenge kill this with Pharaoh after an Earthquake, though. Would he click an attacking move? I don't think so, right? I think he is 100% going for Source Dance. Yeah. Makes sense. We will get KO'd here, but we will get a lot of damage off, and then we can revenge kill it with Pharaoh. It would be a big brain play to call out the Earthquake with Aerodactyl, but Aerodactyl doesn't get Rock-type moves, and neither does this thing, so he needs to click his Water-type moves anyway, so I don't think there's any merit for him switching out. There we get 2% there. Oh, Surf! Would he not have killed? So the thing is that Aerodactyl is faster than us, and that can eat an Earthquake, but I don't think at this point there's a reason for me to overpredict, so I would rather just click Earthquake. He's most likely switching into Aerodactyl, but this thing, yeah, this thing is the scariest thing for me, so it doesn't make sense for me to swap out there. So we'll just click Fire Blast here. This thing also doesn't get a Rock-type move, but I'm pretty sure he just kills us with a Hyper Beam. I was initially going to run Aerodactyl in one of my teams myself, but Sky Attack? What? Okay. He does get a crit though, so I could double back. Do I just double back? Honestly, I'm doubling back. No, it doesn't make sense. I'm just scared that he goes into Kabutops here. Okay. That's fine. Now this thing is the fastest thing in the format. And probably will just click Double Edge again and get rid of us. But that's fine. We might lose. I definitely could have played the end game a lot better. There were a couple like situation where I definitely did over switches, but I don't know. Maybe I valued my Magneton a little bit too much. Okay, I don't think that crit mattered, but yeah, I think it's kind of double edge hyper beam. What would be the? I'm pretty sure this is a lost one, but I just want to know. Fire Blast is gonna be the last move that he has, so we need to go Pharaoh here, and we literally just do we need a crit anyway? I think we need a crit to win anyway. Right? I'm pretty sure we always need a crit here. So literally, I could go for a Hyper Beam. I don't think it KOs. I guess we can calc it. Pharaoh and Aerodactyl. Hyper Beam, guaranteed KOs. But he's faster than us. So we get a guaranteed KO with Hyper Beam, then he switches, and then we're in trouble with the other stuff. So genuinely, I think the right move here is agility, and we literally need to fish for crits. I'll go for agility. Okay, he misses the Hyper Beam. I don't think it ends up mattering, I'll be honest. Now the thing here is, do I kill with a double edge? I don't think I do. 17 to... Okay, it is basically guaranteed. It is literally... There is a 0.0% chance that I don't kill it with double edge. So we go double edge here. Yeah. And now the issue is Kabutops, which... what about Kabutops? Kabutops takes 22 to 26. There is no way for us to kill this in one hit. But do we beat this thing that is paralyzed with this? And I don't think the answer is a yes. So we can't kill this thing. But I don't think there's any... Yeah, nothing he does can kill us back unless he crits with Slash. Which is like a... I don't know what the chance is. But it's not super high. We always need 2 hits anyway, so I might as well go for Drill Peck, so we probably live. Okay, he does get a crit, yeah, but that should be GG's now. We go for Drill Peck here, and then... Do I even Hyper Beam Mr. Mime? I'm faster than Mr. Mime because it's paralyzed, so I think I go for a guaranteed damage here, right? I can't believe that he got me... Made me go into the calcs. Because Hyper Beam is... higher chance to miss. So we definitely go for double edge here. Yep. Now we die to Thunderbolt. We're faster than this thing though. So just to make sure, I will go for... yeah, both are guaranteed. Razor Leaf is higher chance to hit. So we'll go for Razor Leaf. That crit didn't matter, but holy fuck. Jesus. Fucking Jesus. But yeah, definitely the early crits, I'm pretty sure, was literally what won me the game. So that's unfortunate. Because we've talked about, and next we have this. We've talked about in the past, like in last one, I got very lucky, but they were not as insane, the crits, as they were this time. Well, is there any way where he doesn't swap out? I think sub is all but guaranteed, but does Sleep Powder go through sub? Does Sleep Powder go through sub Gen 1 Pokemon? Can affect target behind substitute. Oh yeah, sorry. I guess in that case, I'll just click Fire Blast, I think. Actually, do I just click Fire Spin? I'm faster than this thing. Oh wait, we're speed tying. Oh, fuck. I'm clicking Fire Blast. This is basically a suicide lead, so my Moltres here is basically a suicide lead. Okay. Oh, I did get a Fire Blast. Okay. I am faster than this thing, though. I'm not... Nothing he does kills me in one hit, so we might as well get some chip while we're at it here. Assuming that I hit, and I do. We'll go for another one. But yeah, as like against this team, this doesn't do anything. I wonder, would he boom is the thing that I'm wondering here. I'm so worried about going onto one of my sweepers first. I do get at least one more turn of chip here. So I will stay in for that just to know what he's doing. Yeah. He's probably going for a rock type move, right? I think we just go for this. I hate bringing out one of my... Oh, he didn't go for a move. We could go for Amnesia. And I do think after Amnesia, I do one-shot this. But I think I die to what he then swaps into. I don't think he would boom here immediately. Yeah, I literally didn't know that's what happened. We have Amnesia here. Okay. Really bad. Really, really, really bad. Because obvious a drill pack. I don't think I want to stay in on this. Right? This thing doesn't have any... We kind of wasted a turn. I might have would have gotten damage. But I will go here. There's nothing that this thing can do to hit us with. Like, this doesn't matter. He's still not going to touch us. I'm almost 100% that one of these two is going to be Magneton. Because I don't think there's any way where you don't play Magneton in this format. Yeah, we're not going to overpredict this shit. If he wants to boom, then he can boom. We do the same shit. That's perfectly fine. This time we're not over predicting. I'm just gonna surf. If he booms here, we're fine with that. Graveler is really good in this one. He's probably booming. I'm guessing he was gonna boom, but obviously 4 times super effective. And now he goes Pharaoh. And we click Hypnosis and... Oh, okay. The last one is definitely Magneton. This thing does have Thunderbolt. But honestly, if we set this thing to sleep, we're in pretty good shape. I don't think I need this for anything. I would like to have it for VENOMOTH, and that's about it. But honestly, do I need this thing anymore? I think I'd rather sack this. We'll go for Hypnosis. It's 60% accurate, so the chances of us actually landing this shit are very low. If I'm here, if I'm him, I'm clicking Super Fang every time. Yeah, we miss it. Unfortunate. I will go for it again, though. And he gets the crit. Okay. That crit, actually, I can check. I'm pretty sure that crit mattered, but, because we are, Poliwrath is very, tanky. Thunderbolt is 30. Yeah, the crit definitely mattered. So at least he is also getting some stuff. This thing is faster than we are. There's no way he's not running Super Fang though, right? I don't think how much I do with this, honestly. He doesn't have a Mon asleep yet. We'll go for our Venomoth here. And we will click Sleep Powder. And let's see if the last thing is a grass type that can absorb it, then that's perfectly fine. Because my team is obviously really weak to Magneton. So I don't remember if I talked about that in the team breakdown. That this team, like, obviously apart from Graveler, like Magneton just shits on my team. Oh, he's not running Super Fang? Okay, well, we're just missing everything here now. I need to go for it again though. Paralyze? No, okay. We do land this. Now the thing here is that we can't, unfortunately with this one, we can't really touch Blastoise, which is a big issue. I need this thing alive to deal with Blastoise. So instead I will go into Moltres and sub. I think if he gets the 1 turn sleep, then we probably just lose. Okay. It is winnable now. If he got the 1 turn sleep, I'm pretty sure we immediately lose there. But he did not. And I forgot to give this thing agility. It does get agility, right? Or am I thinking of another one? It does. Okay, well, my set is bad. My set is very bad. This isn't gonna do that much, unfortunately, because he like still can swap into stuff like Blastoise, but wearing down Blastoise is actually really good for us. We'll just click Fire Blast here. Oh, he's just taking the turns? I definitely would have swapped there if I was him. We go for Fire Spin here. What if it misses though? Would he sack this thing? I don't think he would sack this thing. I think that GG's? I don't think so. I think just in case he stays in, I think we go Fire Blast. Please burn. Burn would be huge for us. That's actually fucking massive. I don't dare go for Hyper Beam. I will just go Fire Spin. Okay. It might be locked. Yeah, we kick Fire Blast here, so we get the chip as long as it goes. It doesn't even kill the sub. Okay, it might be a Moltres Sweep actually. Now he kills our sub. Oh, clicking Double Edge there is interesting. I think Double Edge the first time. Also, you don't take recall from Double Edge. Do I go Hyper Beam here? Is the question. Moltres and Blastoise. And Hyper Beam. Does it kill? Hyper Beam is about 30%, so it does kill. I don't think he would swap. If he swaps though, do we lose? I don't think so. I'm risking it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be it. This is an interesting swap because now we get a free sub. Then Fire Blast. This thing is just gonna break our sub with Thunderbolt. Okay, he's probably playing tilted. Thunderbolt there is a guarantee, but yeah, that's gonna be GG's, obviously. I wonder what the last one is. Yeah, it was Magneton. That does make sense. I don't think there's any reason for us to click Fire Spin here. Oh. If we miss another Fire Blast, this is our last Fire Blast as well, by the way. Okay, and now we died. Thunder Wave? Oh, he's going for Substitute. Oh, he's not. I expected that to be a Substitute because that's like his way back into this game. But now we just click Earthquake on this thing. Reflect is interesting. Oh yeah, he doesn't have anything to hit us with. Well, this thing, I would like to save my thingy. This is probably going for a sleep. Might go for a sub. Oh, whoops. Whatever. Mega Drain. Yeah, that doesn't matter. We don't have, unfortunately, Fire Blast anymore, so we need to go for Fire Spin. Just get a crit. Just get a special drop. And we smith. Well, that could not have gone better for him, but that's still fine. It doesn't matter, because now I get a free switch into whatever. This thing outspeeds everything except for Eradicate, but it's not, like, touching Eradicate. I don't think Eradicate doesn't kill this thing, right? I can't end up how many calcs I ended up having to do. Hyper Beam is 56%. Oh, Hyper Beam is guaranteed kill. Well, that didn't matter. And then another Hyper Beam. GG. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Man.
Dude. Okay, that last Hyper Beam didn't. I literally calculated it was guaranteed 56% or something more. It's 56 to 68. But yeah, the second game, I think the RNG was really even. The crit on my Poliwrath was pretty huge, but I also obviously got really good hacks. But game one, like 100%, I just won because of the two early crits. Because like, obviously they didn't matter there in the moment, but then we got to the super weird end game. Like, if I didn't have that chip on your Mons, like 100% lose there. So there I can 100% forfeit that the first game was all RNG for me. I mean, for sure.
To be fair, that whole first game was pure RNG. I got 2 crits in a row, and those crits matter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I would not have been able to be competitive if I hadn't got 2 in a row, which is, I would argue, more insane than getting 2 in general.
I still think that you probably played game one better than me. It was pretty funny that what ended up being like the first team's entire idea there is the team is literally called Greedsart Sweep, but just because how your team was, Charizard didn't end up doing anything. It was a SD mixed set, but the reason why
it was like what I was running last format, I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. But yeah, the reason why I said that I think I have a cool team is obviously the first team that I ran. I got to run all 3 starters. I think that's pretty fucking sick.
I wasn't expecting the Venusaur at all. Like, when that came out, I was like, wait, that's not right. I literally went through this thing like, there's not gonna be any threatening grass types for me. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna run Kabutops. It's gonna go ham.
Oh yeah. It was from the below tier, but obviously the 2 other ones being NU. I was like, bro, how often do you get to use all the 3 starters of the generation in the same team? And also, I think it was also a pretty, like, they actually form a pretty good core. So I was like, this just makes sense, because I wanted another also like threat there. So it was an SD Venusaur set.
No. That's what I was originally thinking about running too, as a way of threatening like Kabutops, for example, and Blastoise. I was thinking about running an SD set, Venusaur, and then I shifted it to, like, I was thinking I'm gonna play Venusaur with Growth and Razor Leaf, and that's when I realized, stat buffs don't apply to crits.
Yeah.
So Growth doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
And then I also realized the same thing with Kabutops, where my Sword Stand Slash setup was completely irrelevant.
I was thinking, like, bro, Aerodactyl is so fucking insane in this. Then I went to initially it was gonna be in, I think, my second team. Then I went to look at the move pool. I'm like, where are the rock type moves here?
Yeah. Like, that was the part that
atrocious.
I was complaining about that, like, right before. Whereas, like, so I have 2 rock types. Neither of them can learn any rock moves.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because, like, I could have really used one against Charizard.
Yep. That's why I also was like, wait, Charizard goes insanely crazy here. But okay, ignoring Venomoth, because I think Venomoth it switches into so many things. It gets double powder. It has really good stats. It has really good move pools. Ignoring that, what do you what would you say is the best one in this format? Because mine is really, like, I feel very strongly about it.
I'm not really sure. Like, my teams were mostly built with the intention of, like, I had a bias towards Kabutops. I've never got to play Kabutops in anything. Kabutops from those Pokemon that I've seen way back when. I'd be like, this is cool. It's like that other Pokemon, but, like, it's got metallic claws. That's sick.
But
If you just think it objectively, what do you think in this format?
I feel like it might have been something that I wasn't even running.
It was both of us were running them on.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, what was Mr. Mime would be the one that I feel, but
Mr. Mime would be the next thing because it's just hard to swap into. I think Magneton is fucking insane in this tier.
oh yeah. So it's because
Look
there's
at
no
the
count
tier
types.
and look at how many Mons swap
Waterfly.
into Thunderbolt.
Yeah, like that's
Literally
something that I was talking
nothing.
about in my breakdown.
Okay.
Where you have Nidoking in the lower tier and Graveler, which is like, okay, you can use these to swap into it, and you can like call out Thunderbolts, which is like, okay. But that's a lower tier as well. But everything in this tier, like half of these Pokemon are weak to Thunderbolt or Thunder.
Yeah.
And I was Giga Gambaing like, Thunder kills everything.
Literally my first team. So it was what? Moltres, Seadra, Poliwrath, Venomoth, Eradicate, and Graveler. And initially, it was literally I had Aerodactyl instead of Graveler, and then I'm looking at my team and looking at the tier, I'm like, all right, so hypothetically, he has a Magneton. What do I switch into this thing? Nothing. So it's like, all right, I literally I need Graveler, and I need to perceive Graveler's health. It's in my second team. Graveler is literally only there to switch into Magneton, and the moment Graveler goes down, my ass is toast. So it's like, I think like here, if you played this format with like only using NU Mons, good luck dealing with Magneton. It's gonna click Thunderbolt and you're gonna die. That's also why I ran. Obviously, it doesn't have a good move pool anyway, but that's also why I gave it a sub, because it's like, all right, I switch it into hopefully a resisted move, and then what is my opponent switching into then afterwards? Is I basically get a free sub every time. But I also think like Mr. Mime is also really good, and I like in the first game, like you just leading Mr. Mime, I'm sitting there like, all right, well, what do I switch into this thing? And then literally it was like legit my best bet. I'll just go the Mr. Mime off and pray.
Yeah. I think that was kind of funny because like the fact that we both essentially went for the same Thunder Wave into Thunder Wave and then Seismic Toss, Seismic Toss, Seismic Toss, Seismic Toss. That was like that felt like real Pokemon right there.
Fuck yeah. But I didn't
The
even
fact that we both got paralyzed at one point as well.
Oh yeah, the fucking paralyze and rest shenanigans where it was like, all right, I get parried. Well, oh fuck. Okay, you get parried. Oh, okay, good. I get parried. Oh fuck. Then you get parried again, and then I get the rest of it. Like, yo, it was so fucking funny. The whole sequence.
It was really good.
Well,
I think the part that I feel like the worst about is the 4-turn sleep on Raticate.
That's
That's the only part where I'm like,
yeah, I was literally like saying there, like if you wake up immediately, then I think that was GG. But then it went longer and longer and even longer, and then it's like, all right, wait, we might get back into this. I was kind of worried when I also, obviously, Hypnosis 60% accuracy, so, and I've said, if I'm ever clicking a move that's under 90%, like, I'm just expecting it to not miss, so missing that on Poliwrath, I was like, alright, well, it is what it is, and then missing the sleep powder felt a little bad as well, but once again, like, if I'm clicking a move that's under 90% accurate, I'm expecting it to miss, so I knew the risk I took was calculated, but unfortunately, I'm bad at math.
Well, wouldn't you be good at math in this case because you understood that it's gonna miss? Anyway. But for the Raticate set that I was running, I was like the whole time after I fell asleep, I was just clicking Super Fang. It was like, if this hits after the rest, I'm fine. I
was kind of like, wait, is he not running Super Fang at all? Because the oh wait, no, it's not the same. Yeah, I didn't have Body Slam. I had Hyper Beam. Because I was like, when you were clicking Body Slam on a lot of situations, I was like, wait, why is he not going for Super Fang and going for Body Slam?
I was mostly
were you fishing for Para?
Yeah, I was fishing for Para for the most part because I was like, I'm gonna try to use Super Fang when I feel like he's gonna actually switch out, or when I'm like, it's gonna be Giga value to use it, and I know for a fact that my next hit will kill.
Fair.
And for the most part, it was never in that like situation. for like getting body slam and then super fang would have been like the dream. Like getting body slam prior and then super fanging you,
Yeah.
and then getting any like blizzard or thunderbolt or body slam again for kill.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that
Makes
would have been
sense.
about body slam did about 30% for most of your mons, I think, and
Yeah.
then super fang would have done another like 35% or something, and then body slam or thunderbolt blizzard would probably have killed from there, depending
Yeah.
on what Pokemon it was.
My idea of running Super Fang as the like, okay, I'm always just gonna collect this was basically the like, if I've learned anything from Gen 1 thus far, it's like, bro, everything is so fucking bulky. So I'm like, if I get a 50% every time, give me that shit.
That's fair. That's true. I think that I could have probably done that way earlier, and it would have maybe changed something. But against like the Polyrath, I don't know if there was I mean, it's 50%. I did about how much did I do with Thunderbolt? Do you remember? Like 47.
A Thunderbolt, the Thunderbolt without crit would have been 30. The crit killed me
Crit was
47 or 48%. I was like slightly below half because that was the crit that I calced because I was interested. But I don't remember what it was like before that.
let me just double check.
I think they are replaced, right?
I think they're only for like a little while.
Okay.
Last time I tried to check them, Thunderbolt was 57 to 68 on a crit,
Okay.
and 30 to 35 on non-crit.
Yeah.
So it would have still been like a 2-shot essentially.
Yeah.
So I think in that case, is it worth? I still think it's probably more worth to click Thunderbolt and then Super Fang a bit later, maybe. Like fishing for status elements.
Yeah.
I can't 2-shot you even if I use Super Fang first.
Yeah, my idea with the what's his face with the Super Fang is basically just like, okay, I swap into something I expect you to swap, so whatever is coming in is eating 50%. That was mostly the idea for that.
Yeah,
But-
I think that's fair. Yeah.
but I
A fairly
think-
good way of using it.
I think these were definitely like our best games thus far. I think you played really well.
There was one moment where I was like, I'm keeping the Graveler in against the
yeah.
Polyrath.
Oh,
I was like, I'm faster, right?
Were you booming there?
I was EQing because I was
okay.
expecting you to expect the boom,
Gotcha. Okay.
essentially.
Yeah,
Like, mentally, I was like, things gotta happen. I'm gonna EQ here.
Yeah, I was literally like, I'm pretty sure I just kill. If I don't, like, he's definitely booming, and then you just die, and it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, it is Graveler with bad special against a quadruple weak Mon, so I guess that does make sense. But I was 100% there, like, if you're staying in, you're 100% booming.
Yeah, I was. My goal was to explode essentially at the end of everything, but for some reason I had skipped like an entire step in my mind, thinking like, I'm not gonna die from this Polyrath. I can just EQ and I can just make you chip, and then I can maybe survive a hit, and then I can explode it.
Me when I'm
'Cause I was
not
like-
full life against a Mon that hit me for 4-time effective. Surely I live with my 45 special.
Surely. I am
I actually wonder how much damage does that do? I'm
probably like 200%.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm surprised if it's not like
yeah,
196 okay.
IRL.
Yeah, it basically almost dies twice over.
Oh yeah. I mean, I should definitely boom there. Actually,
I mean, the
if I
boom-
boom there, it doesn't kill.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the boom doesn't matter anyway because it's like, I mean, if you predicted the switch and then boomed on that, then I guess there. But like the switch was, I will like you earthquaked and then I just click surf.
Yeah.
So
I ate
end
it.
up
I ate
there.
shit. I feel like the second game was a lot worse overall, and then it kind of turned around. I was even like, I'm just like, I can't do anything. I lost. I lost to a massive misplay on my part, and then I got shit on by the sleeps, and I just felt like, well, that's over. And then Magneton actually and fucking Venomoth fucking cracked.
the goats.
Like legitimately, yeah. Now that I think about it, the end game of the second match or game was purely just Venomoth and Magneton fighting for their fucking lives out here.
Well,
Yeah,
there
definitely the two best in the format.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I like your
Also,
band names in the first team.
Yeah, I was struggling to think of names because this was the team that I forgot to name, and I was sitting here for a moment thinking I'm gonna ask chat for assistance. Then Ruga suggested King Shrimpson, and I just realized, wait, I can just call this King Crimson because it's his friend.
Yes.
And then later, Ruga mentioned 9 Inch Nails, Arcanine Inch Nails, essentially. Aerosmith Queen, because Nidoking Queen. Guns N' Roses, because of Slash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Oingo Boingo, because,
It looks like it.
yeah. That's why, yeah.
Yeah, mine was way less thought out. It was like I immediately called the team when I built the team with the starters. It was called just Greed Shot Sweep. Then I'm stuck thinking about
Seven
stuff,
Deadly Sins.
and then it's like, all right, well, I have one of the 7 deadly sins. Let's just throw the 6 others in there. And initially, this team didn't have Venusaur, and this team instead of Venusaur had Venomoth, and the other team, I don't remember what was there instead of Venomoth, but then I was like, you know what, I really want to run the 3 starters in the same one, so that's why Venomoth in the team where there are otherwise stuff that looks like frogs is called Swap Frog, because it got swapped with another thing that looked more like a frog.
I didn't even realize that they looked like frogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
a
was thinking,
reach.
no, this is
There's
not frogs.
basically like Graveler is a reach, and then like Poliwrath, okay, sure. Eradicate, it's
I mean,
green.
that's a toad, right?
Yeah.
Technically. That's a tadpole.
And then obviously Moltres didn't even try, so it was called not a frog. I should have called it frog, but then have the G in parentheses and have D there instead. So instead of frog, it was fraud.
That would have been good.
That would have.
Banger.
Damn it.
I think I need to actually start naming my teams things instead of just calling them Gen 1 U, Gen 1 NU.
No, that's
I think
fair.
that's a good
I mean, I have. It's basically there because sometimes I think of stuff beforehand, so then it's easier when we're actually playing. Okay, what's actually that idea? So it was like Greed Sweep, and the other one was Sweep Drop Loss Amnivrath. Mostly, it's just like, okay, what am I building? Because a lot of the times when I like this is how I like doing my team building is I take like 1 or 2 months and I like building the team around them. So that's why usually my names end up being something. If there's a sweeper, it's usually the easy thing because it's like, all right, how am I setting up this sweeper? But if there's no dedicated sweeper, then it ends up being something way different.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
I mean, if
there's
you're-
been moments when I've been like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
I mean, if you're just running a like balanced core, then it makes sense because it's if you just have like for example something like if you're thinking Gen 1 OU, what would you call a team there where it's like, all right, well, my team has Execute, Starmie, Alakazam, Snorlax, Taurus, and Chansey.
Good stuff.
It's the
Handshake.
Gen 1 good stuff, like actually, yeah.
It's just a Yu-Gi-Oh deck naming convention at that point.
Yeah, literally. It's
Alright,
like, all right, I have a toolbox here. Yippee.
I'm playing heroes, guys. I got DP in here. I got Fusion Destiny, and I got some Destiny heroes.
Also, I realized here now that I've also looked at, because I have built the next time's teams already. If you end up watching this back, Jeexx, don't watch the ending yap. You're gonna get spoiled.
Oh, yeah. I will not.
But yeah.
I will avoid.
Overall, like I said, I think the best games that we have thus far, like, I still think RNG definitely favored me, but I feel like it was better. But
I think game 1 was more in my favor, and like mostly because the crits, right? The game was forced into a state where you had to also rely on RNG to come back, whereas I just kind of won because I got crits. Like I won out early on because I got crits, whereas you won eventually because of RNG as well. But
honestly,
the game would have not have been at that point if I had not got the crits.
if we're both thinking that we got luckier game 1, then I think that's a good. That's a good thing to have. If both of us are like, yeah, I got fucking lucky as hell there.
Yeah, I think that's a very good sign about the quality of the match, where both of us can be like, yeah, we both got so lucky that I feel like it completely played into like what the game went on so long and why it became so close.
Finally, we're embracing Pokemon, and especially Generation 1. Just luck is a skill, and you just embrace it.
I'm gonna be honest, the Sky Attack, when I clicked Sky Attack, I was like, oh yeah, this attack's like turn 1, right? And then it charges for another one. I was like, wait, that's not right.
I was so fucking confused when you click Sky Attack. I was like, brother, we are not using this move.
It's
I respect it. Does he not
140 base
get
power,
wing
90.
attack?
Like he gets fly, and he gets wing attack 35%.
Dead ass. I would have just ran the wing attack.
I think because it's so fast, it's like essentially guaranteed at that point. It's 210 base power. It's 90 accuracy, which is like the worst part, I would say. Like you can swap into it, but there's not many Pokemon that swap into it. There's not many Pokemon that can just eat it. I mean, I guess we have Kabutops, which takes it, and well, Aerodactyl itself.
And I mean, Magneton took like 40 something of it.
Yeah.
And that was a crit. So Magneton also blows you into Kingdom Come.
That's Magneton. Just saying. That's like
That is Magneton.
This is like saying, the goat takes the hint. Just saying.
LeBron blocks that. Is all I mean, LeBron blocks there. Is all I'm saying.
Damn. But originally, I was intending to not run any flying type coverage because I was like, well, I'm just gonna go for like double edge fire blast, hyper beam, like essentially make it a Fearow for the first team, where I'm gonna use it for fast sweeping. But I decided against it mostly because I felt like I didn't have any ways of checking anything that was like good, weak against flying. Because against I didn't have anything to attack flying.
Yeah.
To attack like fighting types. I didn't have electric moves either, so I couldn't like check Poliwrath using this. I mean, I had Oingo Boingo here, but like this thing, I was expecting to die immediately. I was expecting to get hit with like, yes, I'm gonna lead Graveler, I'm gonna boom immediately. Goodbye.
There is no way I'm exploding on my Graveler in a format with Magneton, bro. So basically, we're gonna take off now on our plane, and the first thing we do when we hit the flight height is throw away all our parachutes, and hopefully nothing happens.
Hopefully everything works out.
But yeah.
I think the Pokemon that I was the most disappointed in was Arcanine. Like, I don't think Arcanine got really to do anything. Even Kingler got to tank stuff. Like Kingler got something and it kind of threatened for a bit with Body Slam and even like Crabhammer.
Yeah, Crabhammer is a really fucking good move because having a 90 base power move with high crit is kind of nasty. But the issue is just it's very slow. But Kingler is
inaccurate.
Really cool. But like I was also initially like the Moltres slot was gonna be Arcanine, but because Arcanine one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. But bro, Arcanine is so ass. Genuine. It has good stats, but it's like ultimately what it does is okay. I'm gonna click a fire move, and that's basically all I do.
And that's like always your best bet, really, because even if you do Body Slam, it's gonna deal a solid amount of damage, but you could just be playing something else instead of Arcanine for that.
The
like Eradicate is
probably what I was gonna run if I was gonna run it anyway, but I decided like I'm just gonna have basically a Suicide Lead Moltres, which has sub if there's a favorable matchup that I get for free, and anything else I'm just clicking my trapping moves. But yeah, I do wonder like what happened with the like when you ask also there like did I get a free swap of the trap? I literally don't know what happened there because I swear like we've had previously also in previous episodes we had like trap and then a swap and then the move happens afterwards, right? So I genuinely don't know. What was the Trapmon when that happened?
It was Moltres and it was Graveler.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't think because the only thing that I could have like thought of was like if the one that was trapped was faster than Moltres, in which case like basically the move it would have done would have gotten eaten because of the trap, but because it was slower, which has definitely happened before as well. Like I don't think that would happen, or maybe for whatever. I would have to check the previous ones. Cause like what are the trappers that I've used before? I didn't trap with this. Yeah, the first episode I didn't have a trapper do trap stuff, but the next one Dragonite definitely clicked wrap. So I wonder what it clicked on. Like could it be like if you're trapping a slower mon and then maybe like with Dragonite like I always trapped a faster mon? No, wait, that's not right, because I definitely trapped a Lapras, and I'm pretty sure a Lapras is 60 base speed. Yeah, it's slower than Dragonite. Yeah, genuinely no idea then what happened there. Yeah,
'Cause I
thinking,
think
like,
it's-
if it's one of the speed things, but
What did you swap into after Moltres? Because I remember you swapped into something that could have taken the rock slide anyhow. But like
I'm pretty sure
The
I went to
fact-
do a Poliwrath because I swapped
Yeah.
into Poliwrath twice on a Graveler, and the second time was when I swapped into an Earthquake and then just
Oh,
surfed.
yeah.
That was the first time. Because I swapped into Poliwrath and then your move just doesn't happen, and then I click Amnesia, you go into Firo, and then I switch out.
I wonder if that would have even mattered. The rock slide would have done nothing, essentially. It would have done like 5%. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it can.
But-
I was gonna say flinch, but yeah, never mind. It can't even flinch, and flinch would be only for the turn, so never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really relevant, but it's kind of weird that it happened.
Yeah, I'm
and hopefully
mostly
it does not
interest-
happen again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, what I was mostly interested in, like, was the why it happened. Because, like, we've had trapping happen before, and then it hasn't done anything. So, I mean, luckily, I think, like, that's one of the things that immediately for Generation 2 already they solved. So, basically, trap moves become a meme already in Gen 2, so we don't have to deal with them anymore, which, honestly, I'm very glad about. I think they're not interesting and pretty degenerate, so... And
I think
especially
trap
when-
moves are the worst thing in this entire franchise. Like, in terms of how they feel to use
Mhm.
and how they feel to play against.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Especially when they go through substitute. Yippee.
I didn't realize that you could Thunderwave a substitute.
Oh yeah,
For some
yeah.
reason, I was under the expectation that the substitute eats the Thunderwave.
That was literally why I went to look for, like, when game 2 started and I led Moltres and you led Venomoth, and I was literally there like, wait, Venomoth is speed tying with me, so do I want to risk getting sleep powdered? Because I literally went to see, and sleep powder also hits through sub, so I'm pretty sure like all status moves hit through sub in Gen 1. So that was literally why I ended just clicking Fire Blast instead of going for a sub.
That feels dirty.
Gen 1 sub feels pretty underwhelming because, like, Hyper Beam being able to hit it for free, like any sort of status move going through it, trap moves going through it, it doesn't feel great.
Yeah, it feels like a lot weaker than what I've used it before, like in actual Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And it just makes me actual, like not like competitive, like actual Pokemon games.
Yeah. I was
Yeah, like
Generation
playthroughs.
1.
I've never.
This is not a real video game.
No, this shit ain't real. This is a fucking tech demo. If you disagree, you should probably play the later games and come back to me, guys. I hear they're really good. Yeah, oh man.
Where's the Pokemon
It doesn't
Go
even
merchant
mention-
when we need them?
If only Glitchy was in Strand. Glitchy should sell us all on Pokemon Gold.
Yeah.
Cat shake.
Catchake. But yeah. Long yap this time around, but I think that's perfectly fine. And yeah, that was fun. We're officially halfway through Gen 1 PU and Gen 1 PU. Gen 1, and then next time is gonna be PU. I fused the two sentences in my mind. But next one is gonna be PU, where once again, like, we're definitely tanking on the power level. That's gonna most likely be in 2 weeks from now on, because I will not be here since I'm away for all of Easter. I'm leaving on Thursday, which is when this is going up, and then I'm coming back on like Monday evening. So most likely that'll be 2 weeks from now on. So a bit of a break for us here, but
Sad.
it is very sad. But I do think
cry
that.
every time.
Sorry.
I cry every time.
Yeah, but I think so. Like, being able to do this live, I think is neat, and also that means that I can then go back and watch the VOD and see it from another perspective, which you should also do, by the way. Go to twitch.tv/Jeexx, and assuming the VOD is there, you should watch it. It gives you a whole different perspective, which I think is very cool. But yeah. We will see you next time, not next week, for Gen 1 PU. And hopefully you enjoyed this time, and have a great rest of your week. And if you're celebrating Easter, enjoy Easter and eat some good food. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace.